Hey, what's up guys? Wanted to do another video for the 70s hard and heavy series, but first I want to let you know that I'm going to change the format a little bit. I want to make a couple comments before I get started. The format is going to go from the typical 3 bands or 3 albums down to just 1. That way if there's any copyright issues, we only lose 1 band instead of all 3. Also, your time is valuable to me, so I want to keep the videos as short as possible with as much content as possible in that short time frame. So that'll keep the videos shorter so you can move on to the next, get what you need and move on to the next one. Also, I just wanted to make a couple comments before showing this next band. I looked at the calendar and it was 6 years ago this week that I uploaded a Vinyl Community introduction video. Hey, what's up VC? My name's Corey. Wanted to introduce myself. Say I really appreciate all the videos that are out there. I really appreciate the information and always learning about new bands and things to get into when I'm watching the videos in the VC. 6 years has gone by pretty fast and I look really young in the video and I've definitely learned a lot. And the collection has expanded a whole lot, and as well as knowledge, and also more importantly, I think, friends, the best thing to come out of the vinyl community for me by far is my 2 friends here locally in the state of Ohio, Eli and Jaron, and then also the friends and relationships that go beyond just being neighbors in the vinyl community, whether that's emails or comments and interacting with each other through the videos. So by far that's been the best value for me, and I think it's just incredible. I'd say, what have I learned in 6 years? So I've learned I took 2 pieces of advice from Chris over at Dixieland Farm. He, years ago, or 2 different times, probably years ago, gave us 2 different times gave us advice. So the 2 things were, one was to buy equipment. Don't just buy records. What are you gonna do with all these records if you don't have the right equipment or cheap equipment or failing equipment to play it on, or entry-level equipment? So he encouraged us to invest in equipment, whether it was vintage equipment or newer stuff, just whatever it was, put some money into that. Don't just buy records. So over the last couple of years, I've really been focused on systems and trying different setups and getting a much better, more enhanced musical experience, music listening experience through different setups, and learning a lot about electronics, new and old, along the way. I mean, it's just been awesome. The second piece of advice Chris gave was, or it wasn't advice, but it was a challenge. It was a challenge to actually sit down and listen to both sides of a record without multitasking. I know Aaron always suggests, hey, put your music room in your living room where you can interact, play music, and live your life. So my music room is in the basement. So what I've done is carve out time, whether it's Saturday morning or Sunday morning, or if I can find time in the evening, if everybody's out, if I have like an hour of quiet time to myself, a little bit of solitude, I'll sit down and enjoy listening to 2 sides of a record without multitasking. And it was hard at first, but as I got used to it, it opens up a whole new experience, and it makes listening sessions much more memorable. And it also has me looking forward to the next time I can do that, because it is difficult. And then I won't say I was cheating, but I think it's okay to maybe read while you're doing it. So if I'm listening to 70s hard and heavy, I might have the 70s hard and heavy book out, or I went through the Beatles studio discography and just finished last weekend listening to those records while reading the book that came with the Beatles box set, the stereo box set. Fantastic, phenomenal book. Read that, and earlier this year I read Jeffrey Emmerich's book, and then he passed away. But without rambling, enjoying better listening sessions focused on the music instead of trying to multitask, as well as, you got the streaming music in the car, you got CDs, or friends are trading music back and forth, all that's going on too. But the really special ones, take time out and listen to a record without multitasking too much, and it really will have a big impact. So let's get to the hard and heavy. Thanks for listening. This next band, okay, so if I was going to ask you, what band is Lemmy from? The first thing that you're going to say, that's right. So let me take it a step further. What band was Lemmy in before Motorhead? All right, so now what band was he in before that? So a lot of you, of course, everybody said Motorhead. A lot of you said Hawkwind for the second band, and then before that, maybe a few of you picked Sam Gopal. So I hope it's Sam Gopal, not Sam Gopal. I don't know. Sam Gopal sounds better to me, but I have a feeling it's Sam Gopal. Let me know in the comments below. But somebody showed this in the vinyl community, and I had it on my radar for a while, and finally a reissue came out. So this was originally recorded or released in 1969, and it was pre-Hawkwind for Lemmy. He was a roadie for Jimi Hendrix, as most of you know, roadie for Jimi Hendrix, and they ended up playing with Sam's band, and then he ended up joining this band for a little while. But after this album, it just kind of fell apart. And I do think some of the tracks sound a little unproduced, or the vocals sound a little bit dry. Like, outstanding vocals, but they sound like they could have been produced a little bit better. So some of these sound like demo tracks to me. But before I start knocking the album, this is an incredible hard and heavy statement, especially for 1969. I think this is 70% heavy, 30% maybe more folk. There's some slow tracks on here. The slowest song I've ever heard Lemmy sing is on here, with Yester Love. But other than that, man, you drop the needle on this and it just comes out of the gate with just chugging, fuzzy guitar, great guitar solos throughout the whole thing. But cold entrance, killer track. That track alone is worth the price of admission to this record. Another one, side 2, Escalator, the album name, another killer shredding track. And then Midsummer Night's Dream is really interesting. It's hard to believe it's only 2 minutes and 11 seconds, but really good, strong, heavy song there, if that's what you're looking for. Donovan covers Season of the Witch, which is really good too. But this whole album is really good spin. So I'm glad it's accessible now as this gatefold reissue through, I'm not familiar with the label, Morgan Bluetown. Nice insert. I don't know if I was holding that up well enough. Inside, so you've got your LP, and this is kind of a red marble. Might be showing up a little orange there, but a red marble LP. Sounds great, great quality pressing. This is an official pressing. I know it may look unofficial, but this is supposedly an official release. And then it comes with a 7-inch companion disc for their single, is it House or Horse? Horse, I thought it was House. Horse on one side, and then Backdoor Man, Doors cover, and they do it heavier than the Doors. Again, chuggy, fuzzy guitars all over the place in this album, and even the slower tempo songs are really good. So check out these needle drops on Sam the Pow.
Watching the moon go out and stars fall screaming to the earth. Can you see why the sky is darker here than anywhere? All time is mine, can you see? I hold the sun, and today is yesterday, and tomorrow's time to run. The air is full of voices crying for the death of yesterday. Why is tomorrow waiting? Daylight seems so far away. Call to the white horses galloping across the sky. The time is here for you. It's time for you to fly. Pork and beef, I ain't no chicken any man ever seen, yeah. Yeah, I'm a backdoor man. Yeah, man, no. Black wings across the sky bring the nightfall. Winds whine around the stars, black riders call. Light fading, time's wasting, hell's waiting for the dark lord.
Hope you guys dig those needle drops. I just also thought of one other advantage of doing one at a time. It's a little bit easier on the wallet. So thanks for watching and subscribing, guys. Keep it going. Take care. Anyway, I appreciate you checking it out. Feel free to give me some feedback. And until I see you again, take care.
The spring unwinding in